Well, good evening, everybody. This is Florence Donald. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to the Purposeful and Purposeful Productivity Show. It is Friday, February 24th. Here's my question for you. Are you a business leader, a nonprofit executive, or just a great homemaker who wants to grow something? You need strategies. You need someone to help you understand. Well, tonight is for you. I have the privilege of closing up and wrapping up Black History Month with a gentleman who I have watched, learned from in my short journey. Most of all, I have come to have an enormous amount of respect for. So I'm going to introduce our guest tonight because we have four powerful speakers. He's an engineering technologist in the enterprise space. He's a creative and oh my goodness, entrepreneur, and he's driven by discovery and focused on purpose. And I watched this purpose in his life so much, and we're going to talk about some. I'm gonna spoil it. Yeah, if y'all don't have this, you're gonna get it tonight. A thought leader, a content creator, an advocate, definitely out there talking about what's happening in society. He's dedicated to building trust and confidence and community by working with individuals and organizations, providing technology insights, consulting to solve business problems. So if you are a business leader, you are a nonprofit executive, tonight is for you. Come on, y'all. Let's introduce our guest, none other than Mr. James Hicks.
Look, come on
Mr.
now. But
Hicks,
where we
thank
at
you.
now? Oh shoot, you broke out with focus too. So I know you good people. I bless you. You pulled out the planner.
Oh,
Amen. That's all right.
and look, it's not just for show. I use this thing.
I love that. I love that.
It,
Thank you very
it
much.
ain't just for show.
Glad to see you getting some value out of that.
Yes, sir. So I am so excited to have you here. Welcome, welcome to this show, this
Mm,
time tonight. I just want to open up and let you just share anything that you'd like to share, just opening up with us this
yeah.
evening.
Well, again, I want to say thank you again for allowing me this opportunity to come and talk to you and your community about strategies, about plans, about goals, about doing the thing that it is that's driving you from a passion perspective and trying to get out of your own way and pushing forward. So, kind of as we were saying behind the scenes, I don't have all the answers. I got a handful of them though. And the ones that I don't have, I know folks, I've got the deep Rolodex. So we can actually start building community and talking together and start learning together and start building uh, wealth, start building just that ecosystem as well. So again, I'm just happy to be here. And who knows what I'm going to talk about. Lord have mercy. You going to put me in front of a camera, put a microphone in my face. Lord, you watch out, folks.
Well,
They're gonna be
I'm
they're gonna be a lot of little micro content clips that you can use during this session.
all right, all right. So we got some folks with us tonight. We're gonna let them get settled in, and I like to jump right into questions. But first, for the audience, I'm gonna ask you to do us a favor, and that is, when you have questions tonight, please put a Q colon in front of it to help us find them. We have a master in the house. We want to give him an opportunity to A, get your questions, and B, be able to respond to your questions so that you get value and you can walk away building your business, being a much stronger business leader. So welcome to this evening. I'm going to go ahead and get started with, I'm going to say this because if you haven't heard me say it before, I'm out here because of one gentleman. He pushed me out here with strong but gentle gloves, and I'm going to start with none other than Mr. Walter Strong. And of course, I done something goofy and put the thing in a weird place. But Walter Strong, good evening. Welcome to the show tonight. Yes, I'm going to keep blaming you for having me out here on these digital streets.
Listen, Dr. Walter Strong is a good
Dr. Walter
man. That's a
Strong.
good man. Yes.
And we've got one of our moderators here. Thank you, Frank, for being here this evening with us. And I'm going to say right now, we're also thanking Joshua. Joshua was here last week. So if you guys have not had a chance to check out what he shared about your personal brand and building your brand, it was powerful. It was very powerful. And I'm blessed to call him my brother and to have him in my life. All of these folks. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. And as folks, I know you're live streaming directly on your channel, aren't you, James?
I am looking and I do not see that it has gone live, but you know what? That's okay. We
Hmm.
live on your channels. We use the technology, but sometimes technology may fail us. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. Hmm. Now you make me want to go into my troubleshooting mode.
Yeah, so we can get into the weeds. It doesn't look like the
You know,
restream
nerd
pair
mode,
may have
nerd mode
taken.
over here. Nerd
You know
mode.
what I'm saying? The
But
RTMP feed may not have pulled. Oh,
I,
okay, we're not gonna go that deep.
okay, yeah. So I'm gonna get into the first question because I've shared a little bit about you, but no one can tell your story as much as you can tell your story. So I'm gonna ask you the
Mm,
very first question is, who is James Hicks? What is James Hicks's history? Your story.
yeah, appreciate that. Listen, I am a military dependent. My father was in the Air Force for 26 years, so I am a kid who grew up with more stamps in my passport than some other folks will have their entire life. And there's more pros than cons to that, meaning that I've got to see other parts of the world. I've got to understand what we have here in this country, what the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever the case may be again. But I get an appreciation for culture, and that experience has allowed me to have dialogue, to have communication, to be able to debate without having to be non-respectful. I can be respectful to folks who may think a different way that I do. And again, I think it's really by having those travels in my youth. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I got two kids in college, and Lord, let me tell you something. When you got two kids in college, you can't just retire just yet. So I'm just I love the fact that they are doing well. My wife is doing well. I'm up here in Northern California, like you said, kind of in that open. I've been in IT, enterprise IT for about 3 decades. You can tell by all the salt in the beard here, but love what I do and really started transitioning into Hicks New Media and doing my own thing about 10 years ago. Right, really focused in on doing blogging, real tight with the folks that started WordPress and Automatic, right? The original blogging platform, open source blogging platform. So I've been doing that for about 10 years, reaching out and doing activities, going to events and things like that. But if there was any blessing that I could say of COVID, right, it was the fact that we got the chance to stop and pause, got the chance to pause, all of us, right, and say what it is that we're trying to do. What legacy do we want to leave out there? And what COVID allowed me to do was say, I want to add to my content creation, my digital creation journey. I want to add the video piece.
Mm-hmm.
So really buckled in, found a great community of folks and creators who were also doing the same thing and wanting to share their messages. And really this past 3-4 years, been laser focused, locked in on telling stories, talking to folks who have something to say, turning these lights on, pressing record, and getting in front of this microphone and just talking about being better, mental health aspect, talking about how to run a business, how to start a business, how to create, how to not be afraid of the technology. Because this can be daunting, right? When you've got all these things, and kind of just like we said just now, when something may not go right, what do you do? And being comfortable in that, and like I always say, getting out of your own way. So that's really me in a nutshell there.
That there is a lot to unpack there. There
I
is
say a lot.
a
I know.
there,
Lord
there
have
is
mercy.
a there is a lot to unpack there, and it's very powerful. One of the things is, you said getting out of your own way and not being afraid of technology. And so much of the time we allow what we don't know, especially when it comes to what we perceive as technology. And I
Hmm.
say perceive because at one point in the world, a pencil was technology,
Come on now.
right?
And,
Paper
and look, and here I sit with
with
an
the
e
Apple
pencil, so to
Pencil.
speak, in
Mine is
my low.
around here
Say
somewhere,
I'm
right?
bougie like that though. You
You
see,
bushy like that? Okay. But a pencil was technology. Paper was technology. Being able to use a stone on a tablet on a piece
yes,
of marble was
yeah.
technology. So
Don't be afraid of it,
literally, we
right?
had to come through all of that, right?
Yes.
We had to come through learning how to just pick up a phone and dial it. We had to come
Hmm.
through learning how to turn on the lights. It's all technology. It's nothing new.
And it's not going away,
And it's just
right?
going to get,
And
exactly,
it's
it's getting
not
more
going away,
powerful.
right? Yes.
right? You know, you talked about more than 33 decades. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I, yeah.
Well, again, I told you I got all this salt in the beard here. I've been
I
around.
I'm, I'm a girl. I'm too cute for that.
You
So,
know, we can again we can go
but
in the weeds. We can start talking about DASD. We can talk about the spinning. Listen, I'm an old cat.
you know what?
Uh,
My first true, y'all gonna get some behind the scenes stuff for real tonight because he gonna make me. My
yeah.
first true technology job was in a Honeywell mainframe computer room.
Lord have mercy. Okay, you was you working at GTE Data Services with me on them IBM 36? Well,
In a Honeywell
yeah,
Honeywell mainframe computer
coding in
room
MVS, coding in MVS.
in I was in San Diego.
Okay.
I was in San Diego. So yeah,
Wow.
been it's been a minute. So we got some folks who joining here and we want y'all to start getting your questions in. I want to say hello to this gentleman here, Mr. Steve Worthy.
Oh,
Welcome.
suck it
Don't
now.
cause
Come
no
on
trouble
now.
tonight, Steve Worthy.
Come on.
We
Yeah,
would
I
come
know.
get you.
Let
We
me
will,
sit up straight because
you know, we
let
gonna
me.
get you. So don't cause no
Yeah.
trouble. And my buddy is here this evening, Mr. Roy Richardson from Tech Troublemaker.
Love
Glad to
it.
have
Good
you in the
man.
house with us. And all, you know, troublemakers. We got troublemakers tonight.
We all been around the block a handful of times.
Y'all been around.
So well, I'm gonna deviate real quick, and I told you I'm gonna do this right. Again,
Yeah.
you've got all of these folks in the chat right now, reaching out and talking. One, they've taken the time out of their schedule because we all support each other, right? And
Mm-hmm.
said we want to come and have this conversation, enjoy this conversation, and share it, or whatever the case may be. But again, we talked about technology and being in it for a number of years. Everyone that you just mentioned knows this stuff too, has their own expertise, and are willing, capable, and able to help. They're not
Yes.
holding it into themselves. They're actually saying, you're looking at these new cameras. Okay, check this out because it does X, Y, and Z. You're looking at installing a NAS, a network attached storage environment. Okay, this is what you do. And everyone is reaching out, making sure that they all get better. Because we're
Mm-hmm.
only better if we all get better together.
Right.
No sense in being selfish. No sense in saying only I can have these new Sonys and these new Shures and these new Rodes and all that stuff.
Right.
No, let me tell Florence how to fire up Ecamm, make some dynamic scenes, do this and do that. Because again, we all get better and we all progress in our knowledge and our use of technology that way. So I wanted to
Exactly.
say that because again, you got Roy in here, you got Steve, you got Walt. I mean, you got some folks in here that have been around the block a handful of times and have a ton of knowledge and are willing to share with
Yes.
their
And what
community and your community.
one of the things I did share a week or so ago, and I talked about you all specifically who have given so much of your time graciously, not just coming on the show, which is truly amazing to me. It is absolutely amazing to me. But time and time and time again, you make yourself available and you do it without hesitation. You do it without any hesitation. And so, one of the things I want this community, purposeful productivity people, to understand, and not only understand, but take advantage of, is the experts and the knowledge and the skill and really the caring, the hearts
Mm.
of you
Hmm.
all who come, who aren't just taking, you're giving. You're not taking, you're giving. And so I want to welcome our community. I want to welcome those who are in the chat. Welcome if you're just simply listening. You may be, you know, with your kid at a game or taking care of a parent or whatever the case may be, but you're listening. This is for you. Welcome to the community. I am so excited to have you here. And for our replay crew, the replay crew, take the nuggets and apply them. There's no reason to invest your time, none whatsoever, if you're not willing to take the information and do something with it.
Ooh, that's
You
good. Look at
cannot
you, Florence
apply
over
it
there.
all at the same time. But what
I
this
ain't mad
gentleman,
at you.
Mr. James Hicks, is going to share with you, what Steve Worthy shared with you, what Walter Strong shared with you, what uh, Joshua Ewell shared with you, take it and apply it. I'm doing the same thing. Just so you understand, my community knows. It's right here. It's right here.
I'm gonna have to send a link to where folks can get it on Amazon and or Preston, so and provide a discount code. So yeah, I may do that for your community tonight.
So There is a wealth. I want you to get into some strategies and just ask you a question about,
Mm,
what are some of the strategies a leader can take away to grow their business? Whether they're small, they're just getting started, they're in midway in their journey, or, they're way down the road, there's
yeah.
always growth. What are some strategies they can pull on and from your lessons and things that you teach people to use?
Yeah. I mean, so think about this before anyone gets too far down the road. Think about exactly who you intend to serve and how you intend to serve them. Right. So before you get down the road of trying to do too much, of trying to boil the ocean and say, I want to do all the things. I want to do master classes. I want to do workshops. I want to do consult. I want to do all these great things. And you probably will. But before you get down there, understand who the audience and the community and the client, the people are that you're trying to serve. That way you can be locked in, you can be laser. Listen, I got focus written all over the place. It's etched on my brain. It's in all of my gear, right? You got to be laser focused and focused on you in terms of who it is that you're really trying to serve. Once you understand that, then you can start saying, I'm going to be amazing and I'm going to be excellent at creating workshops. I'm going to be amazing and excellent at creating digital products to sell or consulting services and things of that nature. As opposed, again, trying to get out there initially and say, I want to do all the things. Don't do that because you'll really sell not just yourself short, but you'll also sell the ones that you're looking at supporting and helping and things of that nature because you won't actually have everything fully baked. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying you have to have everything A to Z completely 100% locked in, but at least, again, have a quality offering to your community, to your clientele that you've thought, not just planned it, you're not just written down on your whiteboard, you've actually executed on some strategies of how to deploy as well. So the pre, the intra, and the post, kind of the experience that folks are going to have. How are they going to be onboarded? What are they going to experience when they come into this master class, this workshop, things of that nature? What are they going to experience afterwards? What's going to be the follow up afterwards? What's going to be the follow up during? All of those things, you got to wrap your head around all of that, those components of that initial focal item deliverable first before saying I want to do every single thing that I see someone else doing, someone else who has been doing this for 10, 20 years or whatever the case may be. And you're just month one into the process.
Wow, wow, wow. You said you're month one into the process,
Mm.
or maybe year one, right? Into the
Yeah,
process, and you haven't gone far enough yet. You and I have this experience with folks in IT, right? They
true,
come
true.
in, they think they know more than they know. That was us at one point, just saying. And they just haven't had enough experiences yet
Yeah,
to be able to pull from themselves. And I dare say I watch some of the folks who are coming in and they're too stubborn to be willing to listen
yeah,
to those who've been there and have stubbed their toe and stayed up all night
yeah.
and made
Listen,
mistakes.
you've got to appreciate the process. You have to stumble and you have to fall down and you have to say, okay, this is what I've done. Okay, now let me get up and learn from that and then move forward. If you haven't gone through that in some shape or form, you don't have appreciate I feel you don't have an appreciation of that end goal, that end deliverable that you're trying to provide to someone. So if you haven't gone through all the planning, all the design, all of the uh, implementation thought pieces of what it is that you're looking to provide to your community, to your network, to your clientele, then you're not going to know how to react when something doesn't go the way it's supposed to. When someone says, "This is a terrible course," you know what? I want a refund. Well, have you planned for for giving people back their money? Have you planned for you've got all your course material in PDF format and they don't have access to Adobe? Have you made it available in EPUB format? Have you made it available in doc format or anything of that nature? Right? You really do have to think about all of these different scenarios. Don't get bogged down in the nuance, but be critical and make sure that if you're putting your name on it, if Steve Worthy is putting his name on a course, Hint, hint. Plug for you, brother. If Steve
Come on
Worthy's
now.
putting his name on a course, which is I'm sure is coming out, I believe soon, put that in the comments. Come on, Dr.
And
Worthy.
you know what? He got a book that he keep telling us he bringing out.
Listen. We see we
We're gonna
we
have to do
promoting
a
everyone.
caravan or something to get him.
We promoting each other. But again, if he's gonna put his name on something, he is gonna make sure that he's done his due diligence. He's gonna make sure that all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed. And they may not be absolutely correct, right? But again, he's done the due diligence to say, I've done my planning. I've gone through the process to make sure that when Florence goes to this content creation course on Podcasters Live, that she's going to have a phenomenal experience because I've done my due diligence behind the scenes. Now, along with what I'm talking about here, get to the point as well and don't be selfish and understand it and realize that you can't do it all by yourself. All right. So if you need to bring in some resource, if you need to bring in a copywriter, you need to bring in an editor. If your skill set isn't around chopping up video in Final Cut or DaVinci or iMovie or Premiere, whatever, if that's not your skill set, and if it's important enough to you, you might want to hire somebody to come in who has that expertise to assist you. Let you be strategic in your goals and in your business, and let them do some of those tactical types of things to continue to allow you to sit back and develop curriculum, planning, things of that nature. Let someone else do those, not mundane, not run of the mill, not those necessarily those administrative things, but again, I'm calling those tactical pieces. Let someone else do those tactical pieces while you stay strategic. If doing things like copywriting, editor, and digital graphic creation and things of that nature aren't in your wheelhouse, hire that out. What's more value, price versus the cost?
Right.
The price versus the cost of trying to do everything yourself and getting stuck or being very slow when you could be accelerating that really on a hockey stick kind of trajectory. I think any entrepreneur, solopreneur will realize and agree that, yeah, bringing in someone at X dollars per hour is more valuable than me trying to do it all 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Well, we got an audience question, so I'm going to get this in here so you can give value.
Oh Lord, let me put my glasses on.
Do you believe if a person is depending too much on ChatGPT, if it could stifle a person's content creation ability and creating content abilities?
That's a great question.
You know, ChatGPT is giving me a headache at this point.
Hey, ChatGPT is the truth. Let me tell you about my relationship with ChatGPT. Who asked that question? That's a good question.
Mr. Strong asked that question.
Okay, so Walter, I use ChatGPT to write every single one of my YouTube shorts. I'm gonna leave that right there. I give it a topic. I let ChatGPT write it. I, of course, ad-lib and do whatever I need to do. Every YouTube short you see on my channel was written by ChatGPT. I don't shy away. I respect technology. I don't shy away from it. And again, Florence and I, we've been in this industry for a long time. We knew this was coming. Y'all late to the party. We knew the robots were coming. We knew the artificial intelligence was coming. All of these things, again, don't shy away from this technology. Use it within your workflow. If it makes sense, use it within your workflow. But it is beyond the point, and it is OpenAI and Perplexity.ai and ChatGPT and all these different types of things. Canva has a AI integration piece. Notion has AI integrated into it. You can't get away from it. Don't try to get away from it.
And my favorite, Evernote, just got purchased by an AI company.
Is that what you gonna do?
You're not gonna get away from it. You're really not gonna get away from it. I teased when I said it was giving me a headache because in not just its technology, but as you know, and everyone in the chat at least know, I work in the healthcare field, and so that whole, like, what's happening and what's coming and what we're looking at and questions we're answering about where does AI fit in the healthcare industry, particularly in the provider space, right? So we know those of us who work, there's the provider space and then there's the payer space. I'm in the
Mm-hmm.
provider space.
Mm-hmm.
So in the provider space, there's it literally is going to touch everybody's life. It's
It
not
is
theoretical. It's real, real
already, right?
already.
I mean, the implementation time of anything really in technology is a lot shorter than it is for any other industry, right? When we say short, mid, and long term, we're typically talking about 8 months to a year, 5 years, or something of that nature. Elon Musk founded OpenAI with some other engineers and things of that nature. And I tell you, if you look back, you go on and Google it, do your Google searches,
Mm-hmm.
do your Bing searches. Bing now has AI built into it. ChatGPT took off after he announced it and said that it was coming, and now it has infiltrated every aspect of life. You're talking about it in healthcare, we're talking about it in technology. I know a lot of folks in education that are saying, well, now the students are going to start using ChatGPT to write their term papers, right? So again, don't be afraid of this technology. Understand the technology and know how to leverage it. Know how to use it to its best advantages. Know when to and when not to use it. But again, this is one of those waves that is not going away. This is not like, should I be on Snapchat, TikTok, uh, what's the other ones? All the kids are on, right? You can't be on
Yeah,
all those,
Twitch and all that stuff, right?
all that, right? So which social network should I be on as a digital content creator? This is not like one of those fly by night types of uh, technologies that comes and then goes. Artificial intelligence easing workflows within industry and helping to come up with business que- answering business questions and coming up with resources and answers. I'm trying to figure out the best way to say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Answering and easing the workflow and solving problems for business is always going to be there, and using artificial intelligence to do it faster with less human interaction, because humans can be slow. And if I can have a algorithm go out there and check the entire internet in 3 seconds and find me all of this context that 80% may be true and may be accurate, I have to then go in and do the due diligence for the other 20%. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Again, just be respectful and be aware of it, know how to take advantage of it, know how to use it and leverage it appropriately.
Yeah.
That's a long-winded answer. Yeah, I know what didn't want to hear
But it
all that.
is true, right? So
Yeah.
how take advantage of it and leverage, right? What
Mm-hmm.
that tool is. It's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
It's no less a tool than a hammer, a screwdriver, a car. It's a tool,
Definitely.
and treat it as such. I shared someone asked me a question about how I use ChatGPT, and the answer that I gave is I get it. I use it to force me to think the opposite of what I believe is true.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
look at it and I go, what's the opposite? Because I'm thinking this one way.
Mm-hmm.
How how else can I think about it?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Whatever the
Different
topic
perspective,
is,
right? Different
different
perspectives
perspective.
on a topic or something that you're researching. Just give you a
Yeah,
different perspective, and that really helps with your learning. Helps with opening up your mindset as well. So look, find the positive value in it.
yeah.
Find that positive value. I like that.
Yep, absolutely. So you've been doing some changes over there with your business and stuff. You want to share what's been happening there
Lord have mercy.
with the
Look,
business, with HicksNewMedia, with the I'm gonna start picking on you because I pay attention to these kind of details with your studio there. You've
yeah.
made some changes there. What's happening over there?
Look, we
What are
leveling
you
up.
positioning yourself for?
Come on, we leveling up. We just not being complacent. We are, and again, many of the folks that are in the comments right now, we are subject matter experts. We are trusted advisors. So what we have to. It is our duty to be aware of the latest and greatest technology. It is our duty to be able to talk coherently about ChatGPT, about uh, M1 versus N2, MacBook Pros and things of that nature, and teleprompters, and right, all of this stuff, and about business tools and software and technologies. If we're not, then we fall short, and then someone else is going, and then our potential client is going to go find someone else to talk to. So, what I've been doing is just making sure that the infrastructure for the business is in place, making sure that reporting is in place, from a financial perspective, that's key, especially around this time of the year when taxes are coming out and things of that nature. But for the fun stuff, yeah, I've standardized on a particular brand of video equipment, standardized on a particular brand of audio equipment, and implemented those into the process, and are only recommending things that I've actually used to uh, businesses, individuals, and creators alike. Right. So I don't like the word influencer. I'm not an influencer. I've got a line of clothing. You see this as a creator. I've got a line that says advocate. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I will advocate for something that I know about. I know about Shure. I know about Rode. I know about Sony. But I don't know about Panasonic. I don't know about Canon. I used to use. So I won't advocate and say someone who wants to fire up a studio and do this type of thing that we do. I can't tell you to go try a Canon or a Pentax or a Nikon because I don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
I know about this FX30 and I know about this ZV-10 and I know about this SM7B. So you know what? If you want to get down like this, I can point you in that direction. I can help you set it up. So I'm really advocating for products that I actually have some positive experience with, and
Mm-hmm.
that's been actually pretty successful, right? Just going out there and having those dialogues with folks who are interested in doing something themselves, which I
Mm-hmm.
really love, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, when
Yeah.
you own your own piece of the internet, when
Mm-hmm.
you fire up HicksNewMedia.com, right? When you own that piece of the internet and get off of rented land, when you get off the Facebooks of the world, I don't like Facebook. Okay, see, there you go. Give me before I get in trouble. Start talking about somebody else's platform.
No, don't talk
But
about yours. So we know you what you're doing out here with
yeah,
Hicks New Media. We can share. I want you to share, but you said something very powerful just now about owning your own real
yeah,
estate, right? Owning your own real estate in the digital space is no less important than when you have the opportunity. It's called the piece of the apple pie, American apple pie, owning a home, whatever that may
yeah,
be, whether it's a 60-room mansion or a 6-room condo, whatever, but
yeah,
owning it and being able to build legacy off of that.
yeah. And it's not just for us content creators. It's not just having a YouTube channel. Because you don't
Right,
own the YouTube. You
right.
own the content. If you archived it off and you store local copies or whatever the case may be, you own that, but you don't own YouTube. So why not fire up an environment that you own, that you control? All of the content that you're seeing Florence show right now on HicksNewMedia.com is actually locally saved as well. So all of that content, I can chop it up. I can do it. If YouTube goes down tomorrow, it's gonna be I'm gonna be sad, but it's gonna be all right. Oh Lord, now you got the swag up now. Okay, she
Got the
got the merch
swag up.
store up too. And listen, again,
Oh, I like that
having
hat.
you better get you one. I'll send you a promo code. I tell you what, I'm gonna fire up a promo code right now for everybody. Hold on.
So you
It
guys,
it was not active earlier. I took it down, but
oh,
boom, there it is. H&M 15 is back up. So
okay,
and that's 15% off of whatever anything you buy in the store. But
awesome.
see what this is? This is multiple streams of income, not
Mhm.
just being reliant on Google AdSense and super chats and super thanks or super stickers. Right. This is actually having other platforms of income coming in and monetization coming in from this digital content creation.
Mhm.
Um, and this has been incredibly successful. And the reason it's been
Mm.
successful is because I've raised the bar in terms of making sure that the gear and the merch is high quality, right? And so I'm not. It's,
Okay.
it's just not no knock to Fruit of the Loom, no no knock to Hanes and everything. And that's good too for your underwear. But listen, I want premium quality gear, so it's gonna cost a little bit extra because this won't fade. It's embroidered. Right. I mean, just raising up the game. Again, if I'm having my name on some merchandise, I want to make sure that when you wear it, it looks good. You can be proud of it. You can be proud of the money that you spend in terms of supporting as well. So yeah, just having a premium quality brand in terms of the merchandise that's put out as well.
And I believe you use Press and Sew, right?
So I use two locations. I use Press and Sew for some of the more uh, specialized types of things like the coffee, and I worked with them for the initial printing of the planner and the book as well. But now everything that you see on that store, I have taken in house. So I actually control the entire uh, evolution of that. So I design all the
Okay.
products. That's why I was able to just now spin up that discount code. So I,
Okay.
I wanted the control back so I could create a new design, give it a promo code, have it available for X number of days, and boom, do that. As opposed to having to always rely or wait on someone else. Love what they do. I listen. I still work with Andrew and Sylvia out there pressing so on some things because they put a little extra umph into it. They make it look right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've got like quality boxes and things of that nature that I use with them, and some of the other creators in here know as well. They really raise it up a level. So more of the specialty types of things that I can't just create anywhere. So again, like that custom uh, wholesale coffee that I've created, that private label coffee that I put out, and then for the book as well.
Okay, awesome. So tip there, strategy, y'all. Know when to bring it in house, when and owning.
Hmm.
And you said earlier, if you're in month one or maybe even year one, you're not going to have everything in place day one, but
Yeah.
build a plan to move strategically down the road. You've already shared that with us. That if you need to write that down because that was gold when he said it. He dropped it at like, oh, this is just kind of
Don't
no,
let
it
them
was
slip by
gold.
you now because I
Don't
can't
don't
repeat
let
them. I
him
don't know.
don't let him slip by you. So we had a follow up to the chat GPT question.
And say
Uh,
that 5 times fast, right?
yeah, right. No, that my country girl. I believe AI can be a great tool to help us as people leverage in doing our work. However, do you believe there could be a danger in stunning a person creative learn? I think that's going to be stunting a person's creative learning process. Do we think that it'll stunt the creative learning process in people?
If you're too lazy and you let it, right?
Mm,
Just
wow.
like with anything, right? If you decide that you don't want to raise your level of understanding, if you stop reading books, if you stop trying to learn, if you are the smartest person in the room, I don't want to be in that room, right? If you start allowing these bits of technology, regardless of what it is, ChatGPT just of the conversation of choice right now. But if you start allowing those things to overshadow your cognitive research, your ability to learn, your ability to have dialogue and things of that nature, then yeah, it can take over. But if you're allowing yourself to become lazy and only rely on I'm gonna go Google this, I'm gonna go Bing this, I'm gonna go ChatGPT this, as opposed to going out and doing your own research, going out there and asking those questions yourselves, then again, yeah, then it can take over. But be a active participant in your learning. Be an active participant in your growth as a professional and on the personal side as well. So as a business owner, entrepreneur, solopreneur, as a creator who is shepherding a community, that's what we do. Right? Content creators, we don't go live just for ourselves. We go live because our community wants us to bring a message and they feel confident in what we're talking about. So if I was just going to be lazy and let something else uh, push out the information for me. Now, your question probably came when I said I let ChatGPT write all of my scripts for my YouTube shorts. That's 60 seconds worth of content. I give it the context. I let it come in, and then, like I say, I will ad lib all of the filler words and things of that nature. But I will allow that technology to fill in like 60, 70, maybe 80% of the content. And then I will bring in my own flair, my own swag, and my own uh, additions to the piece, but I'm not allowing it to overshadow my personality and my thought. Because if I was just reading the text from a robot, you could tell, right? But go take a look at my YouTube shorts. I'm very animated. Y'all know I talk with my hands. I move a lot. So and all of that energy is in there as well. So yeah, don't become lazy with this technology, but just take advantage of it.
So this is a powerful comment. ChatGPT is a tool, but it isn't the whole toolbox. And without our personality
Mm.
and expertise, it is sterile information. So
What? See
true.
that? Who is
Thank you,
that?
Roy. That
That's
was
Roy.
Roy.
What
That
Roy
was
said.
Roy dropping
Well,
it.
that's
Roy.
what Roy said. There you
Yeah.
go.
What he
He
said.
said it more. He said it much more, eloquently. I'm that guy. You don't know. You never know what you're gonna get with me. I'm
You
that
know,
guy.
you put a
Oh my God.
short out. I believe, was it earlier this week or was it last week, about an experience that you've had with
Yeah.
trolls.
Oh, we gonna go down that road.
No, no,
Okay.
no. This is real.
Okay.
This is real because when we're out
Lord have
here,
mercy. Yeah.
um,
We gonna
and,
go
and
down that
it's
road.
always been true, right? Even
Yeah.
when you're on platform, I do a lot of public speaking on platform. You can have a heckler, many of them, in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So it does, the fact that it's happening in the digital space, it also happens in the real world, as they say,
Oh
or in
yeah.
real life.
Oh
But
yeah.
you share
Listen.
that, and I know that one of the things I was listening for early on when I started following you and getting to know you was there was some things going on. But you made a strategic business decision, and that's really where I want to go to. You made
Yeah.
an absolute strategic business decision about a shift in your business. I'd love to know a little bit about the thinking process that you went through, and you know, making decisions about what does this mean for the business,
All
because
right.
we
All
all
right.
have those things we have to consider.
Counseling session now. Okay. Yeah. So, folks,
This is
backstory.
not a
I'll make a
counseling
long story.
session.
Let me lay down on the couch over here just to get it right. For folks who may not know, like, I'll do long story short. For a while, I was doing sessions and talking to a lot of C-level executives in the financial space, right? Primarily OTC markets, primarily the penny stocks, primarily folks that were looking to uplist from, again, the OTC market to a Nasdaq or uh, a bigger board kind of thing. Folks that are involved in that are the definition of fanatics. The folks that have vested their hard-earned money, and again, no fault of them, behind the scenes are really adamant and passionate when they are putting in their good hard-earned dollars and cents, nickels and dimes, and they want answers. Why is this stock not performing? Why are we not seeing the products on the shelf yet? Yada yada yada. All this and all that. I'm the messenger. I'm not the one sitting in those conference rooms. I'm not the one who's actually making the decisions. I'm bringing the stories to light, and I'm bringing the exclusive interviews where where we're having the CFOs, CTOs, CM, whomever talk about strategy, talking about whatever is in the 8K and in the filings and the SEC filings and things of that nature. But it got to a point to where folks were expecting me to get around regulation, like SEC regulations, and ask this guy, why is the stock performing at this rate when it should be performing at this rate? How come we're not making products? All those things. And I got more and more DMs, emails, uh, Twitter storms, and things of that nature of folks. And many of them included me. They weren't directly talking to me, but they included me, and they were very negative because, again, folks, very passionate. And I said, you know what? I've spent close to 4 decades in technology. Let me get back to what I love, what I do, and start talking to business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, technologists, folks who are helping understand that aspect, as opposed to this segment, which was profitable and which was um, enlightening for me as well. But I really sat there as a fly in the wall, not knowing all of the right questions to ask sometimes. So it was more of a stretch for me. I've we've talked
Oh,
to.
you gave yourself a stretch assignment. You're supposed to give your team stretch assignments, not yourself.
I was gonna say no. So behind the scenes on a different topic, we kind of talked to some of the folks that are in the chats right now about maybe firing up another channel or firing up doing a separate channel for different types of niches and things of that nature. I probably should have fired up another niche specifically around the financial aspect and the and the trading places and the crypto world, things of that nature, as opposed to having that on my core channel. But I did. But now that is all pretty much eradicated. I'm no longer doing that. And it was tough because a good majority of my community was interested in those conversations, but I had to say what was best for me moving forward from a health perspective, from a mental perspective, and from a stress perspective, because I don't want to do this to be stressed out. I do this because it's great, it's fun, it's profitable to an extent, and I get to meet interesting people like you and everyone that's in the chat. But if I've got 80% of the tweets coming in that are DM'd to me, and they're calling me every name in the book, and I've got to hire lawyers, and I got to hire
Except the name your
security.
mama gave you.
And listen,
Mm-hmm.
I've had to say a couple of times, listen, I got some things around here. Don't come around this house. Don't,
Don't get
okay,
it twisted.
we're not gonna have that kind of show. But again, right?
Right.
So I had to make those statements a couple of times, and I had to get some legal representation and get some security. So I had to go through all of that, and it was just not the way that I wanted to continue to evolve and grow myself as a business, and again as a shepherd to the community. So yeah, I had to segment off a piece and move on from that. And those are those hard pivot statements. I mean, those are those hard pivot
There you go.
points within your evolution. You'll get to a point where yeah, you may have to cut some folks go. You may have to cut off a piece of the community and move into a different direction. And that's actually okay because that's growth. And so that's how I'm internalizing and looking at it myself and saying, no, it's really kind of being clear what the non-negotiables are, right? All money is not good money.
Mm-hmm.
So even though some of these companies were flying me out and paying me per diem and doing all this and looking at me to provide and share their stories, all money wasn't good money. So my negotiable was from a morality perspective, from a health perspective, and just from a desire to continue to evolve and grow as a business and as a professional. I can't do that anymore. Let me go back and do what it is that I do. Let me talk to Florence's audiences about business and technology and growth and things of that nature. Let me talk to Roy about creating strategies, about setting up infrastructure and stuff like that. That's where really where I want to be and where I want to continue to evolve.
Okay. So thinking of infrastructure and being out here, being in business in this creative space, in whatever form, I've really begun to grasp, I'll say grasp, that if you're in business of any sort, even if you're a nonprofit leader, and I know many of them, and that's why I talk about them because so many people who are in my community are nonprofit leaders and executives. You're running a business and you're being creative, you're creating content and information that people need and use. That part of that infrastructure is, and I heard you talk about this, what are some of the key tools, not the cameras and the mics and that, but other types of infrastructure tools that you use to help you be productive as a business owner and as a technologist, as a person who's leading a community? Do you have any that you're particularly fond of or, you've grown through?
Processes, procedures, and frameworks. All right. I'm really understanding. And again, Mr. Worthy's in here, so I know he's a fan of the Pomodoro method. Time blocking is critical. Time blocking is critical. Successful people block their time, and successful people actually plan their day ahead of time. So before I go to sleep tonight, on my nightstand, I got a notepad, and I can walk you upstairs and we can show it to you. Write down the next 3 things that I want to do first thing in the morning. I'm the Steve is the Pomodoro guy. I'm the eat the frog. So I'll knock out the hardest things first, and then it starts getting easier as the day goes on. So time blocking and planning and pre-planning is critical in terms of a successful evolution. As for me as an entrepreneur, that's why I came up with the planner. Right? Again, just having that, there it is right there. Right?
There that
right really is number one.
Right there.
That
He has it in here. He has it in here. Now, interesting, last week, and you're going to laugh because I actually use both. Your planner is very different than Joshua UL's planner. But together, they bring me something that I need, both of you. He came from a completely different, and I've been with planners since I was in middle school, so it's been a really, 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 really long time. And there's probably, I shared when I first started, there's probably not one of these methodologies that have come down that I haven't tore it up and figured out what works and what doesn't work. So that's my area of specialty, one of them. But knowing what they are for yourself, because nothing fits each person. Everything doesn't fit each person. And
good point.
You crystallize that, right? Mr. Worthy is a Pomodoro, and I actually use that in my day job with my team on one particular aspect, and I taught them that principle because I knew it would work. It would help them focus for a couple of hours. Every week I need you to focus on this one thing, and this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody, you're going to get in here. We're going to co-work for 2 hours. You're going to do two pomodoros on this one thing every week, right? You're the Eat the Frog, and you've got in
Yeah.
your planner 3 things I wish for tomorrow and today's must
Go
do
ahead, yo.
task.
This is too cool that you got that right in front of you.
Two,
Yeah.
it stays on my desk
Yeah.
and I use
That is,
it.
hey,
It's not a prop. It's a tool.
again, advocate. I say these things, and because I'm actually doing I got a handful of the copies of the book back there, and I got one upstairs. But again, so I bless you for that and for that testimony, because again, it's true, folks. I'm not just sitting here rambling, talking about stuff that I don't know about, and these are very simple, very straightforward, easy to adapt and adopt methodologies to help you get over that hump, right? When the 24 hours just seem to be not enough, well, it's because you're not saying from 9 to 11 is when I'm going to do my email. From 12 to 12:30 is when I'll go ahead and play on social media, and I'll check my IG feeds or whatever. Then I got my admin time. Then I got my meetings, and then I got my right. If you don't plan around that, you don't have to be so set in stone, but you have to be set. You have to have a plan in terms of what it is and how it is that you're going to go about your day. I'm not right all the time. Everything, life comes up, all right? Things change, but again, I get the only way to be effective and to continue to grow is to know where you are and where you want to be. And if you don't write it down, you won't know where you started and what's it going to take to get you to that next point.
Absolutely.
And that was
So
dope.
strong.
Hold on, let me
Absolutely.
actually.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that, and that'll be in the next YouTube short, y'all. Next YouTube
Okay.
short.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go. So I'm going to go on. I'm going to ask you this.
Oh, I think she done muted us. Lord have mercy.
No, I
You got
muted
the scenes.
myself. I'm going to do it at least once. I'm going to do it at least once. I'm muting
Don't
myself.
mute us now. Don't mute us.
What?
Try
What
to
is?
shut me down.
No, 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 no. What's next for the company? For your company?
What's next is speaking some plans from 2022 into existence. One of my co-hosts that I do a show called Team No Sleep, the social impact of sport, and then I also do one called Perspectives and Focus. The plan and what I wrote down on my vision board was to, in 2023, take those on the road and actually be in person with those events. So very TEDx style. And we are in conversations right now, specifically with Team No Sleep, to go to some local universities, youth centers, sports bars, and things like that. Because again, this is kind of a sports-oriented type of show in person. So not just be digital, but also be in front of people and having the dialogue and engaging, things of that nature. So that's actually next, and planning on doing that. We've been selected to attend. We've partnered with a handful of organizations. I can't mention the two yet, but one in particular, we will be at the Super Bowl from now on. Not just next year, but we will be at the Super Bowl working with some organizations, especially with some athletes, starting off with the prayer breakfast, the Athletes in Christ prayer breakfast, and things of that. So we will be there for that in Vegas next year, and that's turned into a recurring partnership type of activity already. And so we're going to be there doing that, stepping up the presence at a lot of events as well that are within the core focus of the organization. So like CES, like I've been going to CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, for 15 years. So now bringing more staff, more folks that actually can work the cameras, work the microphones, work the gear and things of that. So broadening the team to go out to more of those types of events. So that's what's happening now, is actually the fruits of the labor, right? The fruits of the process, the fact that we're evolving, we're getting the recognition, having companies call and say, hey, can you work with us for X, Y, and Z, and really starting to put those things into place. So it's exciting, right? To see the next evolution happening. And I love the fact that, again, it's taking a little bit of time, because if it happened too fast, I wouldn't appreciate it. Like I said, I've been doing this in some form or fashion for about a decade, for 10 years, ever since I was just blogging on WordPress text sites. But going through the video piece, spreading the message that way, doing a little bit of the audio piece. I need to get more into that. So I'll talk to you, Worthy, about that, about doing the audio podcast piece. But spreading the messages and telling the stories and having it resonate, because
Right, right,
consciously,
right.
consciously, I'm looking to be above the noise. Now, there's a lot of noise on the internet. There's a lot of just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's all entertaining, which is all cool and all that. But I'm trying to have a little deeper level types of conversations with folks, and it's starting to resonate to see, okay, that's this style of conversation, this style of storytelling is actually resonating, and folks are seeing it. So having some opportunities come up is pretty cool.
So
So
I
that's
will
what's
tell
next. Yeah.
I will tell you one of your really impactful shows with Team No Sleep was when you all were talking about the situation with the young lady, and now fathers, mothers and fathers really having to be afraid for their daughters,
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
living and being away and not being able to always be there to protect them, and now the conversations that need to have. Guys, this conversation, I'm not going to turn it, but just pay attention to what's happening over there. I'm not a sports fanatic.
Hmm.
However, the the understanding is important even for me to have.
Yeah.
I don't have to be a football anything. My best friend would tell you I don't know nothing about football. He's been trying to teach me for 20 years and I still don't understand the game. But the understanding of what's happening is what's important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we all
That's
have
a good point.
children, nieces, nephews, godchildren. We all have those. And what's happening with the young people is so critical. And as business owners, the more our business grow, the more organizations look to us, the more impact and advocacy we can
Mm.
have
There you go. I
in
like
those
that.
spaces,
I like that.
right?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
no
we can't
good
we can't
just
turn we
keeping it
can't
to
turn a blind
ourselves.
eye. We can't
Right.
turn a blind eye to only the profit and loss and the balance sheet. Right. We live in these communities ourselves. Not we got to start preaching up in here now. We live in these communities ourselves, and we have to take ownership if we're going to be the leaders within these communities to
Mm-hmm.
actually uh, own what's happening around our sphere of influence. Right. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that show, as we talked about, a Team No Sleep, the social impact of sport. We never talk about what score it is. We never talk about what new shoes LeBron is wearing, but we talk about the things that, as you were just saying, the youth tend to look to these athletes and these celebrities and these folks that are on TV and on sports fields as a role model. And when they start going down the same path as regular folks, when they start going through situations as well, mental health issues, the Naomi Osaka story that we covered extensively,
Mm-hmm.
right? When there are domestic violence types of things, when we start having those kind of conversations, folks start saying, "Oh, you know what? I am in that situation myself, or I know someone. Let me listen to this story and let me not be afraid to maybe interject and probably help." So again, rising above the noise, having some awkward conversations, but hopefully providing value. And, and
Yeah.
that's that's
Yeah.
that's the best thing that we can do as content creators and as business owners and as just citizens. Just
So
bring value.
you and Joshua Uell impacted me today. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. Today I just hit a wall.
Okay.
I hit that mental wall and the energy wall where I said I'm done. Uncle, I'm done today. But I was wise enough and self-aware enough because of the pouring into me that has happened even when you didn't know you were doing it,
Hmm.
that I
Come
recognized
on
it
now.
happened, and I said, hold on, take a break, walk away, get some tea, get some apple cider, shut it down,
Yeah.
because you're about to go someplace that's not even good for you mentally. It definitely ain't gonna be good for anybody else. It is
Come
not
on.
good for you mentally. Be aware. And the awareness comes from knowing that there are people who are talking about it, and you can hear those triggers going off. You can recognize the triggers in yourself going off. So I
Hmm.
will say thank you to both of you all, and for
Wow.
the audience, and not just the audience in the chat, The replay crew, our mental health is so fragile. And being leaders, being executives, being in business, being corporate leaders, we can turn and get to a place where it will be almost impossible for us to come back if we're not careful. And we can push ourselves beyond the point, beyond the breaking point. It is very powerful to listen to what people like Mr. James Hicks are sharing, and not just tonight. That's the beauty. It's not just tonight. The information and the sharing is there, and if you reach out and you need the help, you need help
Yeah.
with strategic planning, you need help with strategic thinking, where my business is, where my organization is, where my technology is. These leaders who come here for these 4 weeks have said, I'm here to support you and help you. And that's really, I talk about this. Whose shoulders are we standing on? This is Black History Month. We are all standing on our ancestors' shoulders. It's not fictitious. And I don't care what stripe you are, what state you're in, what state you were born in, how big, how small, your family, you're standing on somebody's shoulders. And
That's
in
good.
this way, in this month, these 4 gentlemen have allowed us to stand on their shoulders. That's powerful. And I hope that we don't take
That's
it for
humbling as
granted.
well. We appreciate you. That's very humbling as well, and don't take it. I don't take anything for granted, and I so appreciate that. That's very kind of you.
Thank you. I just tell it how I see it. Someone said, "You, I'm not gonna say those words because I'm on air, but I will speak what I think.
You tell it like a TI is.
I'm gonna
I,
tell it like a
I'm from
TI
the
is.
I'm from the
So,
country too. Come on now.
yeah, I'm a good old
Shouts out to
Iowa
Hampton,
girl.
Virginia.
I'm a good
Okay.
old Iowa girl, and I'm not afraid of my roots, my good old Iowa roots. So,
Hmm.
Tech Troublemaker said he's planning to attend CES next year, so y'all got to hook up and connect up,
Dude.
and
Yeah.
bring some of this community to
Yes.
CES next year in Vegas. I haven't been to Vegas
Yes.
since a year before COVID. I think was the last time I went to
Oh,
Vegas.
I was supposed to go to NAB, which is the National Association of Broadcasters or something, and I think that's
Mm-hmm.
in like 2 weeks. And one of our colleagues from the ECAM community, Doc Rock, is actually presenting at NAB, and I told him
Mm-hmm.
that I was going to make it. So I'm still going to try to make it. But I mean, conferences are coming back, and so that's one thing as well from a development perspective. Get yourself a business coach.
Oh,
Get yourself a mentor. Get yourself a community of what I'm calling the inner circle. Get yourself some folks that you can just chop it up with and say, I've got an idea, and what do you think about this? And they can just tell you, no, this is terrible. Right. Just be able to have a comfort zone of where you could have some colleagues earlier in the stage than you are, at the same level of the journey as you are, and some that are a little bit more seasoned. Yeah, you can't all be right at the same path on this, right? You got to have kind of that variation so folks can have that dialogue of what it was, what it is, and what it's going to be like. Get you that inner circle, take a course, get you a coach, get you a mentor, do all the things. Right. If you really want to be successful, if you want to continue to thrive, you can't do this alone.
I
There
had
are
a
no crabs in the barrel here.
I had a
We are
mentor
not going
tell
to let Florence.
you're not gonna let
Like,
Florence do what?
we're not going to let Florence do this alone. Right.
Well,
There are no
thank you.
crabs in the barrel here. Right. There is no one that when she gets to the top that we're gonna pull her down. We just like you said, we gonna push each other up.
You
Okay,
know,
I'll be quiet. I'll
I
be
I
quiet.
have been I have been truly blessed. I
Mm,
started early tonight saying I would not be here but for Mr. Walter Strong, and that is such an absolute. I can tell you definitively, without a shadow of a doubt, that I would not be doing this live streaming. I would not have met you. I would not
mm,
have met Mr. Worthy. I would not have met a lot of people. I would not have met Roy without Mr. Walter Strong. And I've said it to
mm.
him privately. I'll continue to say it publicly. I will be eternally grateful for what he has already poured into me. I don't take it for granted, and I have an enormous amount of respect for him. And as I build this, what I call my and network,
Hmm.
those mentors.
No,
I learned
yeah.
that from one of my leadership mentors, my and network, uh, and it's reciprocal. Joshua Ewell talks about this. Relationships are reciprocal,
Hmm.
and you have to be. They don't have to be the same. What you receive and what you give, it's not a tit for tat, but both people elevate because you're giving. Both people are giving.
There it is. There it
Right?
is.
Both people elevate because both people are giving. Both
Yeah.
businesses elevate because both people are giving. And so that's what we've done here over this last month. We've all elevated. And so I thank you all for those who are in the chat, those who are just listening, those who are on the replay crew, those who will come much later in here. We're all elevating together because we're giving to each other, and we're strengthening each other. The things that I don't know, I got people like Mr. Hicks, Mr. Strong, Mr. Worthy, Joshua Ewell. You all know. I don't know.
We here. We here.
You know.
Come on. We ready to roll
So
the sleeves up and get dirty when we need to.
just doing the work.
Yeah.
Making
Yeah.
mistakes. I'm gonna make mistakes. There are no perfect people walking around on earth. When someone tells you they're perfect, they're lying to you and themselves.
Come on.
It's just as simple as that. So Mr. Strong says the best is yet to come in what you are doing with your live stream and online platform. Well, thank you, sir, kindly. I appreciate that.
Get on to
So
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna I put in the chat, although I mistyped it the first time. What is your win of the week? You all know I like to know and I ask every week what your productivity win of the week is, because if you invest your time and you invest your time with this show, with me, then grow from it. I'm
Mm.
growing. I want each of you to grow from it. It doesn't have to be huge, but every week there's got to be something that we could win. We've got to get used to winning and acknowledging our wins. We are good at beating ourselves up and saying what we didn't do, what we didn't do right.
Yeah.
We're good at that. But what we say to ourselves is so much more powerful than what anyone else says to us. So let's hear them. I would love to hear what your win of the week is. I'm going to put Mr. Hicks on the spot and ask him if he would not mind sharing his win this week, because I'm going to share mine.
Yeah, listen, no worries. It just happened yesterday, and I kind of alluded to it already. First of all, I love this format. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Um, uh, I can't name the name, but signed a brand partnership yesterday, and it was again an organization I've been looking at collaborating with and working with for a long time. Just patience and persistence and bringing quality content to various platforms has allowed this to happen. So yeah, was able to solidify that deal yesterday. I messed around, had me a had me a glass of scotch last night to celebrate. Come on now, I may have another one tonight. It's the weekend, but but that right there was the win. I'll give another one.
You got some ink on some paper.
Listen. Where my Mont Blanc at? It's contract signing season. Come on now. It's
You got
contract.
some.
I bought the Mont
You
Blanc.
everyone should have. Let me just say this. If you don't, this is the pen nerd. Florence Joshua will tell you I'm the pen nerd. Um, Everyone should have a contract signing pen that you use. This is not my
Ain't,
contract
play,
signing pen.
ain't
This
playing
is
with y'all.
uh, this is an
What you
Italian
got? Is that a
pen. Why did
cross?
it go
What's
out?
that? Is
No,
that a
no, no.
cross? Paper
It's
mache?
the same people that made the lava pen. Oh crap! Why can't I think of the name? It's an Italian pen. It went out my head.
Gangster.
Um,
Okay.
I can't think. Well, I'm a pen nerd. I've been collecting pens for like 30
Okay.
years.
Okay. Okay.
So
Listen,
it's
you
a
better
whole
get you one of these.
situation.
You better get you.
I've got like five of those.
Get your contract signing pen. Listen, I pull
I
this one
have
out.
5 of those. Just don't make me brag. Josh, you may want to tell him. You may want to tell him.
So James, you better
You
recognize,
you may you
Flo
may
been
want
out
to.
in these
In
streets.
fact, I gave Joshua his contract signing pen.
Yeah.
Now you know I cannot show the whole collection. We will be here till next year.
But hold on. Okay, see, here I go pivoting again. But think about just the impact of that, of having something that is special to you, is valuable. You keep it locked away, you keep it whatever. I keep it in the box and everything. But when it's time to do some of those life changing, just some of those evolutionary types of things,
Hmm.
you say, you know what? I'm gonna put the Bic down. I'm gonna put the paper mate down. But we gonna go get this one.
We don't use paper
And
mates and Bics.
well, Lord have mercy. Okay, you high end.
We don't
But
use Joshua.
okay,
Tell
I done
him
got myself in trouble. I'm gonna be
we do
quiet
not
now.
use paper mates and Bics.
I was trying to be very explanatory. I was trying to tell a story.
It's okay.
I
Tell your
talk,
story. I'm
I'm
sorry.
talking to the common folks. You over there, at Sizzler. I'm still over here at the other buffet line. You over there at the all you could eat red lobster. Okay, I'm sorry.
Not really.
I
He did not say
apologize.
red lobster.
I
He did not say.
apologize.
It's okay. He did not say red lobster. Uh, so,
I forgot. I
m-
had another win, and I was going. I don't
please
forgot what it
share
was.
your other win. I want to hear
See,
it. You know, I
I'm
told you I
scared to
was gonna
talk
cut up a
now.
little bit.
I'm
I'm gonna
scared to
cut up
talk
just a
now.
little
Oh,
bit.
that's what it was. Uh, so outside of just that, automating some processes in the workflow, right? So being able to consolidate some of the tools that I had in the workflow for video creation, and being able to automate some of those processes, not ChatGPT, folks, because we talked about that already, but using some other tools to streamline the workflow for the stuff that I still do, was a huge win, and finding success in the creation and the evolution and the deployment of that. So I mean, those little wins actually as well save time. So again, I talked about what's the price versus the cost. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, automating workflow.
Okay. So, Mr. Strong said, win of the week is watching how, how this amazing Black History Month came out so well. And see, I'm still tearing it up. I applaud you and your team. Thank you so much.
Hmm.
You're always so
Hmm.
kind and supportive. Um, I really appreciate that, Mr. Strong. And so he says he need to get one himself. Yes, you do, sir. I'm just telling you, there is something, I don't know what it is, but the right writing instrument makes a difference.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does. It really does make a difference. Joshua said he said no paper mates. He yelled at you.
I know you got all caps.
In all
I'm
caps,
through.
he yelled
Yeah,
at you.
exclamation point too. Okay, see there we go. I'm just gonna go
I
sit
done
back up.
started something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and sit in the
So
second row. I can't hang out with y'all in the front row. I'm gonna go sit the second row.
you can hang out with us in the front row. But my win of the week this week was even what I talked about it earlier. Is today when I hit that wall, and this was the big one. When I hit the wall, being in a place from all the education and the times that I've spent and listening, being able to recognize when I hit that mental breaking point where I had to stop.
Mm,
It wasn't anger, it wasn't frustration. It was just I had taken on too much. And my mind said, you've taken on too much. You need to relax. You need to let it go. You need to go pray. And you need to come, get yourself together.
hmm.
Those who know, I typically will shut down my Friday a little bit early because I want to be in a space where I'm ready for tonight and I don't want to be rushing in and just whatever. But it was different. It wasn't that today. It was a real hard breaking point. And so my win was I recognized it. I was self aware enough that I recognized it. It was
Mm.
a huge win for me because I can push myself sometimes too much. And I didn't do that this time. I didn't.
Awesome.
So that was a huge win. And I've had a huge win this entire month. Getting through this, I've never done a whole month of interviews in live streaming. So the win has been the learning that I've gone through this month of reaching out to guests, trying to do what I needed to do to make sure my guests had what you all needed and that you were prepared, that you didn't come into a situation you didn't know what you were walking into, or if you, well, yeah, you figured out you got a crazy lady, but but not a complete nutball. And just being able to spend so much amazing time with you all, that has not just been a win for this week but a win for this month for me. So if anyone else has something, and if you're on the replay crew, go ahead and share your win in the comments after the fact. We want to know about them and celebrate with you. We want to celebrate with you. Every win is powerful. It propels you to the next thing. So I always love having my guests share their last words of wisdom. But what I'm going to do before I do that, because I'm learning here, I want to share with the community and anyone who's watching on the replay how to connect with me. Then I'm going to bring you back and let you close us out, if that's okay with you, sir. Okay,
Sounds good.
great, awesome. So everybody, this is my name is Florence Donald. You can connect with me at florencedonald.live. There you can schedule a discovery call. You can connect with me to do a productivity assessment. Some other tools are available there for you to try some of the things that I use right here on this show. And there's also a link to join the community and to buy me a coffee, either a one-time commitment to the channel or ongoing there. So florencedonald.live is how you connect. And of course, if you have not done so, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share this content, share this video, especially the gold that has been dropped today with Mr. Hicks, with others in your community, on your social channels and social media platforms, and in email, in whichever way you want. We're here to support you. Myself, from a productivity standpoint, I want to walk your journey with you. Productivity is a journey. It doesn't end, and I want to be right by your side. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring the man himself back, Mr. James Hicks. Thank you so much. And I didn't share it with you, but our moderators were dropping things like your links in the chat and that, and I will
Awesome.
go back and put them into the description of the video as well, so that people know how to get in touch with you. And we make it easy, right? We make it easy for folks to get the help that they need. So any final comments, words of wisdom that you want to share? And I'm going to let you take us out of here, sir. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Listen, and again, I'd be remiss if I didn't start off by saying again, Florence, thank you for this opportunity. This entire month of programming that you had on your channel was phenomenal as well. And I can't believe that you're telling me that this is your first time running a webinar, a master class, so to speak, as well, because the run of show that you sent, the communication that you sent, just the way that you handled all of the communication behind the scenes was phenomenal. So that let's go ahead and give you them flowers ahead of time, right there, in terms of what you've done. Continue to do it, right? Because so now you've done it once, do it again, right? And continue to bring on different speakers, continue to bring on different topics, because that is really where you're going to continue to bring value as a digital content creator and as a subject matter expert and as a trusted advisor in the space. I'm just here to heckle from the back of the room. I'm here to provide a different perspective, a different outlook, just to provide some answers to some questions as well. So thank you for sharing again my links there as well. I am not the smartest person in the room, and like I said, I do not want to be that person, but I do have some tried, true, proven practices and frameworks that do work. And if I don't have the answer, I do have a pretty decent Rolodex to where I can put you in contact with folks who can help with whatever those questions may be. Let's do it together, right? Again, let's not try to do this all by ourselves, because it's so daunting and it's evolving so fast. Again, this is not the crab in a barrel situation. When one succeeds, we all succeed, and we will help elevate each other. And that's really the community that a lot of us are looking to be a part of. And there's no excuse, right? There's really no excuse for success. We can all do it. Get away from the dauntingness of worrying about the infrastructure. Get away of worrying about, do I have the right technology pieces behind me, the lights, the microphone, the cameras, and all that. Get out of that and focus on the content. Be aware of the content. Be the shepherd to the community that you're trying to build and you're looking to build, and it will come. It will come. This is a marathon, but it is a process of going through this that you have to go through. It's going to take a minute, but again, you will evolve and grow as a person, as a business owner, as a professional, and like I said, personally as well. If you just allow that process to happen and don't try to rush every aspect of it, plan for it, kind of like we talked earlier. Uh, Understand who it is you want to talk to, understand what it is you want to talk about. Know that you can't put all the eggs in one basket. So if you're going to be on YouTube or Vimeo or wherever, understand that you have to have multiple streams of monetization and multiple streams of income to really sustain this. Uh, do what you do and do it well. Because if you've got your name on it, on your brand, on your gear, on your equipment, on your merchandise, you want it to be of quality. There you go, right there. And again, speaking of gear, right, I just fired up the promo code again. So your community has the H&M 15 promo code up there and go on. But again, thanks a lot, Flores, for this opportunity.
And thank you so much. Well, gang, we have reached time. I'm going to ask Mr. Hicks to hang in while I close this out, and we will see you all next Friday, 6:30 p.m. Yes, we will have a link